Welcome to the Free Idea Podcast. Your host, me. And today I'm talking to you through Austin, first day of cold weather, windy, cold front, whatever you call it. I believe it's January the 6th right now. And just double check that it is the 6th. I wish, what? I'm trying to see through my watch so I can be more focused on the road. There you go. And it is January 6th, Trump's favorite day. Interesting how this is the one thing that doesn't have a name. Usually in America, when something happens, they put a name on it. Except this one, they just like to call it it's January 6th. I don't know why they do that. But it's also the other Reyes. Or is that tomorrow? Maybe that's tomorrow. So today, it's super cold. It's freezing to the bone. It's windy, disrespectfully windy. But it is what it is. Prepared for the worst. Fully prepared. My idea today is simple. I saw it on a Reddit post, and I think it's amazingly dystopian because it's gonna happen one day if things don't get under we don't get stuff under control with our tech. It was a photo of an oven. Well, not an oven, but the thing, whatever you call the thing that you cooks with, stove. It was a stove that wasn't able to turn on. I believe it was the oven that wasn't being able to turn on because if you looked at the screen, it said that the oven was not connected to Wi-Fi, so it could not access the feature. Imagine that. And I, and I think that's the dumbest use of technology I've ever seen. Imagine not being able to use your oven because it's not connected to your Wi-Fi. It that's so dumb, and it's also such a problem for rich people, I guess, because they will only be the people that buy those type of ovens. Because if you're in any other country where you have problems with electricity all the time going in and out, and the Wi-Fi not working either because whatever somebody chopped the cable or the electrical wire, it's all messed up and the wind blew it. There's no electricity, whatever. You understand that Wi-Fi is not reliable for most of the world. It's not reliable. So I think it's a dumb feature. An oven that doesn't work because of it's not connected to the internet. It's dumb. And it wasn't even like a cool oven with a cool screen. It was like your typical screen of every other oven with a typical all clock, digital clock, and that's all it has. And it was displaying that little warning in old looking tech words. And so somebody commented a very funny thing. It was an incredible funny idea. Depressing. And they pretty much I'm gonna summarize it. It was over Reddit. That imagine a monthly membership for using your oven. I was talking about and not word for word, but let's say 9.99 a month and it unlocks two burners. You know, ovens usually have four, so I'm gonna go with unlocking two burners so you can cook at any time. And it unlocks the oven for only up to 350 Fahrenheit degrees and up to only 1 hour of use per. I think was it per day or per month? Probably per day. Sorry, I'm trying to hear with this fucking road of Austin that makes no sense. The right lane all of a sudden becomes an exit without telling you that it's an exit. It's so annoying. A three lane becomes a two lane, and I had to switch the cars. Now, but if you pay 20 or 19.99, you get the premium one where it unlocks four burners. It increases your oven limit to 400 Fahrenheit, and you can use it up to 2 hours per day. How about that? And if you pay For the $30, 29.99, the ultra premium diamond pass, then you can use your four burners and you can use your oven for up to 4 hours at any time of the day. And then it increases the Fahrenheit once again. I don't know. I think it's extremely, extremely greedy, unnecessary, and but it doesn't seem too far ahead from what it could be. So if there's any book writer out there or dystopian movie director who would like to make something about the future, I recommend you to listen to this idea right here and make as many things as you can into monthly memberships, not payments where you pay it off and it's finally yours at the end of the day. No, 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 no. You just pay to use it every month. It's never yours. You could make it as dystopian as you want. You could pay for it in full price and then still be charged a monthly membership to use it. You could make it a little kinder and be a rented only device. But we, but whichever it is, it still sucks. Anything monthly payment, it's kind of funny. Anything, just think about anything like your car headlights, like the free version of your car. Your I don't know, your 9.99 a month for your car membership only allows you to use your headlights and probably your AC for cold and hot are just capped at maybe 75 and 70. That's probably it. And you keep paying more per month, like $20 a month. Then you can finally unlock, I don't know, 65 and 80, about that range. And then what else can you? And then you can, if you pay the premium diamond pass, you can unlock the maximum heat and the maximum cold AC plus internal lights and your your beep beep on the wheel. It's finally unlocked because your opinion only matters if you're rich enough. Nobody wants to hear you going beep beep on your car if you're only paying 20 a month. You gotta pay that 30. You gotta pay that diamond pass. Otherwise nobody wants to listen to you. No, that is funny. Think about anything that is membership. And then I remember I was talking on my free idea about renting clothes where you can pay a monthly fee of, I don't know, $20 a month. And you have a store where you can rent three shirts and two pants and, I don't know, four socks. And then per month, and you can change them. Instead of throwing away clothes that don't fit you anymore or buying new ones all the time that you probably won't use except for once a year because you're a woman. And you only love using clothes once for your videos so people don't think you're poor. That's the perfect audience right there. And you can exchange clothes. Maybe you can exchange three times a month, one time a month. I mean, there's diamond pass if you want. You can exchange them anytime you want. No limit. Up to 10 pieces of clothing, something like that. I think it's a great idea. Anyways, my wife was telling me that rich brands that are fancy brands, expensive brands. And I'm just gonna throw some random examples that I don't know if it's true, but like Gucci and Prada, you know, those brands. More above that. That some of them already do that type of stuff where you rent clothes instead of purchasing them. I guess it makes more sense for clothes that are expensive for people that actually want to look rich, but they just can't afford it because they're not rich, or just rich people who want to save a dime. But I was impressed that that already exists in some capacity. I haven't confirmed it, but I'm gonna take her word for it. She's more into that world of clothing and celebrities and brand names. So if that is true, That proves that my ideas are not as ridiculous as I thought they were. Because they do sound pretty ridiculous. And then I realized that they're already out here in the world. What else can I make that is ridiculous? Let me make something that is beyond ridiculous. Something that it's already free, but we're going to be charged for it. And that's going to be signs, road signs. We all know that road signs are here for our safety. For example, we got those stripes, reflective lights that are yellow and black. We got the stop signs. We got the ones that tell you that this bridge may freeze under cold weather and this other bridge is wet when it rains. Because we need to know that. We don't know if a bridge really gets wet when it rains. But thank goodness we are using taxpayer money, my money, my overtime money, to tell people that things do get wet when it rains, just to remind them that specifically this bridge does get wet. It does not work against physics. We do not have the technology yet, so it does get wet when it rains. And it doesn't tell you to slow down or anything. It just tells you that it does get wet when it rains. Now, thank you very much. I don't know what to do with that information, but that's the world we live in. So those type of road signs, and maybe also the green light, blue light, or what's the red light, green light. So imagine a day where you have to pay a monthly membership to see them. So America has realized that it's too expensive to put these signs for the safety of its citizens. The safety of the citizens is too expensive. I mean, it's not turning a profit. I'm sorry, but it's not capitalistic enough or greedy enough. We do not use your tax dollars for your safety, and it's costing us too much. So we got to find a way to profit from it. Therefore, now that you have 3D glasses or whatever, ultra reality glasses, and everybody has that, just like everybody now has a phone and everybody requires you to have an app instead of be going there in person. So now the government has decided to take up all signage on the roads, or in fact, just leave it alone 'cause it's also too expensive. No, you know what? Government is dumb. So make them spend money by taking down the signs, right? A government that is smart but greedy would be like, leave them there. It's too expensive. Now, this government is gonna pay to take them off, all of them, and then on your 3D glasses, ultra reality, when you put them on, you're gonna see all the signs on the road everywhere, new signs, and they're gonna sell it to you by saying that these signs are gonna get updated constantly. Maybe the road that was 30 miles an hour can tomorrow be updated to 45. And then on low traffic days, it can be updated to 75 miles an hour. And they're going to try to get you there and be like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to be able to speed. But actually, they're just going to leave it at 30. And sometimes on lucky days at 45, no more than that, because they can. And they already got you. And then on December holidays, they'll just drop down all traffic signs by 30. And they're going to show you signs to slow down. Like every single opportunity they can, they're going to just show that in your face. But one commercial here and one commercial there. Why not? You know, like those billboards that are so ugly. They're going to also tell you that those billboards are ugly. They take space. It's too much work to put a stick and then change the paper on it. So that's why they have came up with virtual advertisement with your 3D glasses. So everywhere you look, you'll see that. You'll see something like Hogsworks, Schlosskeys, open today, 3 miles away. Bucky's, 47 miles ahead, right? Then, what else? What else? There's more, there's more. Even titles of stores, because they also have titles like Rawers vacuum cleaners, call 512 49 32 16. Even those will be on your 3D glasses. Everything, the XN, gasoline, the prices of gasoline, the Jack in the Box prices, everything will be through 3D glasses. So now capitalistic America is saving money on signage. But you're gonna have to pay for it, all right? It's not enough that you own these glasses and that they're yours. Technically, they're not gonna be ever yours. Like government property or Apple's property or Facebook's property, whoever is the company making them. And despite you buying them, you're just buying the access to using them, but you're not buying the actual physical thing. I mean, you can throw it away and break it and whatever, but oh snap, that was a cup. Woo! Ooh wee! Oh, I slowed down real good on that one. I didn't just saw that. Oh, and then those 3D glasses are not gonna be able to tell you where cups are. They're gonna purposely hide the cups. That'd be so cool for cops. You won't be able to see them. Whenever your glasses register the proximity of a cop and they see it in the view, it's gonna block it with a black square or something. Or they're just not gonna show the decals that say police. Maybe. Or maybe they'll show you with a big old cop little icon on top of it, like video game, where it tells you like what mission is there in that area. But yeah, that's dystopian enough for you. Everything is through glasses, but they're not yours. You're gonna pay a monthly fee, maybe 9.99 a month to use them. If you want faster updates or beta, alpha, before the update is released, you can pay like 20.99. Call it the supporter membership, and then you get a 30 membership dollars that you can get to customize stuff. If you want, you can change the color of the signs, and you can make them jump around if you want, but you gotta pay 30 for it. It's gonna be called Diamond Pass again because of lack of creativity. Yeah, I think that's good. It's gonna happen, maybe. So again, if you're a filmmaker, book writer, YouTube short maker, get this idea for free. Use it, make it into a funny sketch or depressing sketch. Definitely would work for you. It's something different, something fresh. Nobody has done that yet. So now, I don't think anybody has. Well, there's some. Actually, there's some of it. There's people have made videos where you put the glasses on and it's all advertisement on your face. Just full of advertisement. I think Black Mirror has made one where you dream commercials or or you wake up to watch TV and it's all commercials. And I remember this one that it was weird. It was like in a room that is full of TVs, and if you try to look away from the commercial stops and makes noise in your room. Ultra-capitalistic America. What else can we make that it's annoying? Tips on self-serving kiosks. You know those machines? We're gonna replace human workforce with machines, and so you can now order through a machine on your restaurant, and you'll never meet a human. You'll get your food brought to you through a robot. You'll order it through an iPad, and then it'll still ask you for 50% of a tip for the maintenance of the robots. They'll just change it. They'll just say, hey, these robots cost money to maintain. So you need to tip as if it's not reflected in the food already. They're just going to find a way. Let me tell you, they're going to find a way to keep the tipping culture of America well and alive, no matter what. Right now, it's just an excuse to use people. It's just, oh, they got to pay rent. Oh, they got to eat. You got to pay their tips for little things with a job that doesn't pay them enough. You know who's deciding not to pay them enough? The owner. You know who's making record profits? The owner. And you know who's taking all the risk? The server. The server is taking all the angry customers that are just so annoying in their face and going back and forth in the kitchen and this and that. And kind of being like a little manager, deciding to give them the free plate or not if they're upsetty, spaghetti. But now, oh, then they don't even, and then, yeah, they get paid peanuts. And then it's on you to pay their living wage, which is annoying. It really is. And you're like, well, they do a lot of work. Well, now with robots, you're still gonna pay them tip because hey, they gotta get repaired, bro. What are you just gonna you want robots that are all with all wheels that squeak to your table? They they are out of balance. They're rusty. You gotta pay that tip so we can keep these robots up. And The tip is gonna be just as much as the human eventually. At first, it's gonna be like something cute, like 1%, 2%. Oh, let's keep our robots happy and oiled up. Buy them a bottle of oil for 3%, and they're just gonna ease you until they can finally get to now. Eventually, it's gonna take some years, 10, 15, 20, whatever it takes for people to get used to. It don't matter. You eventually get to the 10, 18%, 25% obligatory. And eventually, when it gets to 30 and 40% tip, they'll start adding a mandatory tip of 3% to 5%, maximum 10. Already included in your bill. I think it's a very nasty thing to do, but it's just the way that it is. That's the way humanity works. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. That's how America works. I'm going through the Chief Petty Officer bridge. It's literally called Chief Petty Officer. And that's funny. And there's two bridges, by the way. Did I ever tell you the story? I gotta tell you the story. Two bridges. There's one that is the new one, and then there's the old one right next to it, about 5 meters away, or in American, about zero point 0.2 football fields away. What is this? This restaurant is absolutely never open. Why is it yellow? Guys, what does yellow flashlight even mean? Is that a stop? God, I don't even know what a yellow means. What? What does it mean when a red light, green light flashes yellow? I think it means stop. Well, the chief petty officer has two bridges, and it's named after. I think this takes a long time to explain, and I don't have enough time for it. But the story goes that the bridge needed some maintenance and needed to be destroyed or whatever. I don't know. So, the engineer told the police that this bridge was actually perfectly fine and did not need to be destroyed. And the police chief said, "I don't care. I need you to build me a second bridge next to it." And the engineer said, "But sir, we don't, I mean, the people barely eating, they got all these memberships to pay for their oven and their fridge and their monthly fee for their car membership and their 3D glasses. So they cannot afford it, sir. They cannot afford a second bridge. I mean, you're going to be squeezing them out if you do that." And the chief officer said, "I don't care. I want a second bridge, and I want it right next to the first bridge, by the way." And the engineer said, "Well, sir, on behalf of my citizens and people that I serve, I'm not gonna do it. I think you're exaggerating, and we can use this money in a better way, and I'm not gonna do it." And then the officer said, "Oh, you're not gonna do it? Then I'm gonna fire you. I'm gonna fire you. I want my second bridge, and I want it right next to the other bridge, and I will fire you if you don't do it." And the engineer said, "Sir, that is really petty of you to try to fire me just because I don't want to build a second bridge next to the other bridge that is also perfectly fine. And to protect the citizens, I really think you're being petty." And he kept saying that, "I think you're really being petty." And then the police officer, the chief, by the way, chief police, he said, "Well, you know what? Consider yourself out of job then. Tomorrow, turn in your keys. I don't want to see you here anymore." And then the engineer said, "Oh, wait, wait, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I went a little too far. I didn't mean to say that, sir. Of course, I'm going to build you that second bridge right next to the other perfectly working bridge. No worries. In fact, I already know the name for the bridge. I'm going to name it after yourself." And the police chief said, "Incredible work, Mr. Engineer. I'm glad that you finally saw it my way and that you're making sense. Please go ahead and build the bridge. And I don't even want to know what you're going to name it, but go for it. I got more cities to go take care of their bridges." And he left. And now the bridge is named after him, and it's called Chief Petty Officer. I'm not lying. It's the name. It's what the name is. Chief Petty Officer Bridge. And that's how it came to be. Now, I'm definitely making up the entire story, but it'll be fun. It's a funny story. You can work on it. You see, if you're a fiction writer, movie writer, you can definitely include that story in your movie. It's a silly little break from everything, all the depressive stuff. The chief petty officer bridge, he was very petty. He wanted that bridge, a second bridge. right next to the other bridge that was already working. Maybe you can turn it into a building. If you wanted another building next to the other building, maybe you want to make him even pettier than that. I don't know how, but that's up to you and your creativity. I have arrived at my first stop. I hope you enjoy my dystopian conversation once again about ovens that you pay a membership to use, courtesy from rentable clothes membership, 3D glasses, ultraviolet reality glasses to see commercials. Oh yeah, and the signage. And you have to pay to see the signage, by the way, even though it's government and it's tax paid by you. You're still gonna have to pay for it, and they're not gonna lower your taxes. By the way, they're not gonna lower them. Why should they? They're getting away with it. They're already paying them. Why should they get paid less? Who wants to get paid less? Do you want to get paid less? Huh? When you're at your job and they bring you a faster, better computer that makes you do your work even faster and better, do you ever say thank you, boss? Now that I can do my work twice as fast and twice as good without as much effort, I want you, boss, to pay me $5 less because I can do more with less work. So I'm not working as hard for you. So please pay me $5 less an hour. You know, have you realized that nobody ever says that? I have a car, right? And I used to spray with a tank, huge, a lot of work to reel the cable out and in, and it was like 50 feet of cable, of hose. And then it's so much work to move that thing around. So much work. Just have that in mind. So much work. And then eventually the company, as most pest control companies have moved out of that, now they just use backpacks, which is much easier and better. And the stuff is concentrated. So it's also even good for the customer. And it's less work, much less work. And did the technicians, say, thank you, boss, that we don't have to do this no more? Now you can pay me $2 less because my work is now less painful? No, absolutely nobody ever said that. I don't think anybody has ever said that anywhere. Imagine a restaurant that makes donuts. It makes 50 donuts a day. Boss buys a machine, buys a better oven, more spacious, and now he's making 200 donuts for the same amount of work and time or whatever, right? Does the employee gonna say thank you for this incredible oven, boss? Now I can make more donuts and it's much easier to take them out of the rack. The other one was pretty rusty and old. Now you can pay me 50 cents less. No, absolutely nobody has ever said that. What do people say? Oh, I know what they tell you. They said, oh, experience takes work, you know. Oh, I have 10 years of experience. You're paying for the experience, sir. You're not paying me because I know how to do this thing. You know, you're paying me because I know how to do it in under 10 minutes and do it well. So for that, I'm gonna charge you twice the amount of any of my colleagues. That's what they always do. Oh, you're not paying me for the amount of time. This takes me a week. A beginner takes them a month. But I'm gonna charge you $5,000 more than the beginner. I'm gonna charge you three times more than the beginner because I did it in a week. And it's good quality, sir. Yeah, I know my people can do it in 1 month, and it's okay quality. I can do it in a week. It's better quality, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to charge you more. That's what they say. Even if it's the same quality, 1 week versus 2 weeks, they'll charge you more. Even if it's the same quality and same time, my company has good reputation for the past 25 years. I'm going to charge you more, sir. They're going to find any excuse, by the way. Anybody's going to find any excuse to charge you more. Why not? Because it's all relative too. That's the problem, and I do it too. But it's all relative. You only charge more compared to your competition because that's who you can compare yourself to. If you cannot compare yourself to nobody, then you're just gonna find somebody who kinda is like you, or who you think it's as big as your ego. Hey, the president gets paid 250, and I'm more important than the president, so I deserve 300. And you just wanna one up whoever it is. I've seen this with celebrities that do movies. Sometimes they just charge. I think it was this interview with, I think it was Swasher. Swasher, I don't want to say his last name because I'm going to say the N word. But the Terminator guy, Swasher N word. And he He said in an interview in a podcast that he was competing with Stallone, I think his name is, the other guy. And sometimes he just wanted to get paid more than Stallone as part of the competition. If the other guy was getting paid 5 million, I think he said he was getting paid 1 million for one movie, Terminator, and then the Terminator guy. And then the Stallone guy was getting paid 5 million for another movie. And then he said, "Oh boy, he's my competition and he's making more than me. So I'm gonna charge 6 million for this movie or something like that." He just threw a bigger number, 9 million or something. He kept saying no until the number went up and up. And he took it purely for competition. And that, well, that's gotta be also for money, but gotta be for competition too. And I think that's very interesting because it has nothing to do with his quality of work. Like, what's gonna be the difference between, let's say, 5 and 6 million? Nothing. 1 million, who's already super expensive, which I think he said it was in the 1970s or 2000s, something in that bracket. Which, by the way, that amount of money in that time, of you're a king. So it's not about the amount of money. It is you just human behavior. Inflation is gonna happen regardless. I don't think anything will ever fix inflation. That also, any economist out there, I don't know if this is correct in your studies, probably not. But in my psychology studies of human behavior, people will always try to one up everything, themselves and everyone around them. And prices will always will go higher, always, no matter what. No matter what. If they lower prices, it's just to bring more clientele until they finally become kings and a monopoly, and then they'll just bring prices back up, even pricier than their competition. And it's just nature, human nature, to always want to be higher than yesterday. You always want to improve. You always want more, 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 more. It's in our brain. It's in our psychology, in our behavior. We always want more. We're never satisfied, no matter how big our house is or how beautiful our food is. It's literally in our biology to never be satisfied and life always be in pain. So even if we used Bitcoin or gold or something that there's a fine quantity of, therefore prices should not go up, or whatever, inflation should not go up because you cannot overspend something that there's a finite amount of. Even then, people will find ways to just increase prices. It don't matter. It don't matter. Somebody will want to get paid more gold than the other person. Somebody wants to hoard all the gold. Another person doesn't have any gold but will be willing to steal it from someone. It don't matter. It don't matter. A drink is gonna be one piece of gold, but over here, Mr. Starbucks Fancy Pants is gonna say, "Well, my coffee is worth 2 pieces of gold. Your coffee is so shit, it's worth one. Mine is two." And then another one, Fancy Pants, he's gonna be like, "Well, y'all's coffee sucks ass. Mine is gonna be worth 3 gold because mine is better than both of you. I spent 1 hour to make one cup of coffee." That's right. I just make 30 steps just because I can. And I am that fascinated about coffee. And you'll never see anybody in this town more fascinated by coffee than I am. You're Starbucks, you're a corporation, so you don't pay attention to that as much as I do. And you, other little guy, you're local and you don't have the money I do. And the passion is on my side. And that's why I'm going to charge 3 gold coins for my coffee. And he goes on and on and on and on and on and on. It's never going to stop. And people say, well, the free market and the people is going to decide. But people are going to get convinced by that psycho guy that wants to charge 3 pieces of gold for 1 hour per cup of coffee. Yep. 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 Anyways, I have arrived. It's been a while. I got to get to it. This was super fun. Thank you for listening to another recording of the Free Idea Podcast for free as of now. Maybe in the future, you'll have to pay a membership of $9.99 for the light version. 19.99 for the premium version, where you can hear my thoughts before I speak them, and then you can pay $30 for the supporter version, where you get nothing extra except the feeling that you're supporting me. I'm not joking. That's literally what a lot of companies do. They just give you the bragging rights. And I don't know, maybe yeah, that's it. You just get the feeling. I'm sorry, I don't have some fancy title to give you. It's just a recording. Maybe maybe there's some gold glitter whenever you play my video that sparkles as soon as you play it or when it ends. Just because I'm greedy, only when it ends you get the gold sparkles, and only one time or something like you cannot repeat it. As thank you for your $30 membership support with no extras. Some companies really do that. There's video games out there that you pay to play their alpha version or their early release access. You pretty much pay them to test their game. And then once they release it, they charge more, less, or sometimes free. And you get stuck by paying for their support. And they don't give you nothing but a little title that says that you were a beta tester or something that nobody's going to really care other than you and other enthusiasts like you. But either way, thank you so much for this listening of today. I'm glad that I did about 40 minutes of a recording. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I made my drive, and now I'm gonna go ahead and get started on work. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day.